Why would you ever go to the Canton Fair where you can source goods from 1688 and Alibaba? Well, I'm going to be sharing you 5 different ways that you can do so. Right now, I'm in the Canton Fair in Guangzhou that's hosted several times a year. And I'm going to be giving you 5 different advantages that you'll have actually sourcing from the source in person versus doing it online. So here, I'm just going to show you the basic layout of the fair so that you understand more or less how it works. But every fair has its own different kind of theme. So sometimes it's textile goods, party goods, clothes. Here you say there are some banks here. So it's Bank of China, and over there is China Construction Bank. Now, why is that important? Well, sometimes if you're here for business, if you're like on a business visa to talk to some suppliers, they'll let you open a bank account under some conditions, and you can use some of their services here to either do currency exchange or actually do some banking services. Like if you want to open a bank account, you can see over there, you can queue up on the line, and hopefully you may be able to open a bank account under business conditions, but not normal conditions from my experience. Okay, so the first advantage I'm going to talk about being here physically in person versus buying online is the pricing. Now, I know the prices on 1688, Pinduoduo, and Alibaba may seem attractive, but usually for suppliers to go on those platforms, they need to pay a premium just to be hosted on that platform. I know for first-hand experience to be on 1688, sometimes manufacturers need to pay $10,000 just to sign up. So you can definitely get preferential pricing if you discuss directly with the supplier. You can sneak a couple photos of some products that you're interested in and just do a photo image search on 1688 to find out the pricing if it is truly getting a better deal doing it here physically in person versus buying it on 1688. You can also hash out payment methods with some of these suppliers. Sometimes they just accept, Alipay. Sometimes they can accept bank transfers. And as I mentioned before, there's a little bit of a secret here. If you come here in person, your chances of opening a bank account rise a lot better because they know you're here for business. And if you have a Chinese bank account, you can pay them a lot faster. But in most cases, you can just pay them in USD in their overseas bank account that they should have if they're selling these products overseas. So doing these face-to-face negotiations feels a lot more human when you're actually here in person, and you can actually touch and feel the products without being scanned with fake reviews and all that, and actually see if you're getting the best price you can get versus just finding the product on Pinduoduo and Alibaba. Now, the second advantage that I'm going to be talking about is you can actually touch and feel the products. You'll be seeing some footage of some products that you can actually see with your own eyes and make sure no one's scamming you, because if you're not physically in China, it can be quite easy to scam you, especially if they're professional, like setting up a fake warehouse with fake products to show you that the products are okay. So here you can actually test and understand their QA, QC, quality control and assessment process, so that in the event that you were to buy bulk from these people, you would be able to go ahead and figure out that the products are real and they're not fake, filled with a bunch of fake reviews that you actually quite often see on 1688. The third advantage of coming here in person is that you can ask about customization of the products and also get some insights about the market for the target product you're trying to sell. So for example, if you want to white label something or maybe add your own logo or design to a specific product, you can have that conversation here with them face to face for a specific product that you want to sell in your market. You can also ask them what the best sellers are or the trending products in their niche. So right now I'm in the baby toys area. You can ask them in what countries they have most of their business in, and if they actually have a presence in your country, or if you realize there's a gap where in your country they don't sell these kinds of products and there's an opportunity for you to fill that gap with them. Because what you don't want to do is just copy and paste a product in your country without any customization, and then you don't make it unique to your brand, and you can end up selling nothing and having your business flop if you're not careful with that. So it's very good to, at least once you have an established market, to be able to tweak it so that it fits your local market better. You don't just want to copy and paste the product. You want to make sure that it's helping your local market. You might have different requirements in one country versus another when it comes to your product. So being able to do that flexible customization, those tweaks that make you stand out and unique and make it more difficult for someone to copy you if they were to like your idea, is something that you can get the benefit of and having that discussion in person when you go to a trade fair like this. The fourth advantage I want to talk about is target market and expertise. A lot of these sellers already have experience selling overseas. They already have their logistics channels set up, so they probably already know more or less the market details and the analysis. So you can ask them, hey, do you have experience selling in my target market? So let's say you want to sell in the US and you want to test out a product and customize it a little bit so that it's unique to your brand. And they're like, yeah, this is our bestseller product in this region right here. We sold, let's say, made about 100 million in revenue each year in this country. And that way it gives you a good idea before you make a bulk order that there's actually demand for this kind of product. Now, it's not that simple where if they say there's 100 million in revenue, you can sell. Of course, there's marketing, customer acquisition, different distributors you need to talk to. It's quite complicated, but at least you know that there's a market there instead of going in dry and just testing a product that's never been tested in your market and realizing that there is no need for it. So that's a fourth advantage, that you can gain insights from some of these suppliers directly that they won't share with you on an online platform like 1688, mainly because they probably have no international expertise and they just want to sell on the website without having any deep conversations about market trends and where you can cooperate as a business. And the fifth advantage I want to talk about actually coming to a fair like this with an idea of a product that you already want to sell or you want to find a better supplier is that you have clear business practices and parameters and limits. So for example, you can discuss MOQ, so minimum order quantity, the logistics lead time. So if I place an order for 100 units, how long will it take me for those products to arrive to my warehouse locally or be shipped to my end customer? You can also ask them and hash out logistics details. So if you want to do two methods, one is drop shipping, where you get an order and they ship it to the customer directly. This might be a little difficult unless they have strong logistics channels and experience. Or you can just do the bulk shipping where you buy inventory in advance and then ship the bulk into a warehouse in your country, and then from your country ship it to your end customer there. So these are the practices you can talk about with them, and you can learn, okay, what is the quickest lead time for my customer? So if you want to do let's say the drop shipping method, you may need to be a little bit more clear about, okay, your end customer can expect the product within 10 working days after they place the order, etc. One last bonus tip I'm going to include in here. When you do go to these events in person, to make sure it's not wasting your time, do research in advance to see what the theme of the market is, because it changes. You know, they have a lot of Guangzhou fairs or another cities as well that deal with electronics, computers, accessories for phones, or if you wanted more so like clothing, purses, jewelry. They all have different kinds of fairs. So make sure you do the right research to see what the focus of that market is. And in that way you can be more tailored to what your niche is for whatever product you're selling overseas. So in my opinion, those are the 5 main advantages of actually going to an event like this in person. Again, if you want to have a no hassle way of buying these products online with image search, or you already have the supplier address that you can buy on 1688, they can share your details here. You can consider using my website to help you breach the barrier of having need to come here physically, need a passport, need a Chinese bank account, any of the payment issues that you may have, you can consider that. If you like seeing content about sharing sourcing tips on how you can maximize your profits for your business, if you're sourcing from places like China, consider liking and subscribing to this channel. And if you want to know how to use 1688 step by step as a beginner from zero all the way to placing the order and having the product reach your final destination overseas, check out these videos right here.